What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Balanced Perception YouTube channel. And as you can see today, we are here with a brand new printer. We have the QIDI X-MAX3. This is my first QIDI printer. I hope I'm actually saying that right. QIDI, maybe it's QD? I don't know. But anyways, I'm going with QIDI for now. We are going to be checking out this printer, doing our first print and unboxing this sucker as it just arrived. So let's hop to it. All right, so as I said, this is my very first QIDI printer. I'm hoping it's well. I've read lots of great things about this printer. It's actually the same price as another printer they just released, the QIDI, the something plus 4, I believe that's what it's called. And the reason I actually went with this one over that one, even though that one has, you know, basically more updated features, is because the bed volume on this one is bigger. I print a lot of cosplay items and I like to print them very large, as I don't like to try to hide the seam when I combine two items. So that's why I went with this bigger one. That's pretty much the only reason. So if you're, you know, teeter-tottering between the two, the bigger bed size is what I went with. The bed size, let me check again, it's actually 325 by 325 by 315. And if you watch my K1 Max video, the bed size on that one is actually 300 by 300 by 300, which is the same size as the CR10 V2s I have. So this one is actually the second largest bed that I'll have, right after the CR10 S5 or V5, whatever it's called, back there in the corner. So second largest printer that we will get going. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and open this sucker up, show you guys unboxing it, setting it up and everything. Hopefully it's very easy. The K1 Max wasn't super difficult, but the calibration thing was a bit annoying, and that was something that I did not have to do with the Bamboo printers. They basically print it right out of the box, but their bed size is much, much smaller. So to be expected with a little bit larger bed size. Anyways, though, I digress. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. If you do get one, just be warned, this sucker is heavy. The weight is 37 kilograms. I don't know exactly what that is in pounds, but I can tell you, yeah, it weighs a good little bit. So we'll see how much of that is actually padding compared to the printer itself. But anyways, let's hop to opening the sucker up. All right, guys, so we got the top open here, and as you can see, we've got a scraping spatula, a guide that I should definitely read, but probably won't, a few Allen wrenches. I have so many of these by now from opening all the printers. The feet to help with the noise reduction and the vibration reduction. You get 4 of those. A screwdriver, an extra print head, and a, what's it called? RJ45 cable for the internet, USB first drive, I don't know, something. What does this say? Basically, it's a USB drive. So yeah, that's what we have here on the top. So taking this layer off, let's see if we can, a lot easier if I put that down. There we go. All right, we have that removed. Let me just set that here to the side. And you can see the actual printer. Sorry, just putting that on the ground there. There we go. Just now you can see the actual printer. This is it. We're going to go ahead and I don't know if I can lift this straight out the box. I'll probably have to put it on the ground. So yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna lift this straight out of the box because this is a heavy printer. I think it's about 60 pounds. So give me 1 second. All right, so I'm gonna try to show you guys me actually getting this out of the box. Just ripping off a bit of the protective plastic here. Let's see. This right here, the top bed I'm already noticing is made out of plastic and not glass, like on the K1 Maxes. I did not know that. Let's see if we can get this off. There we go. Yep. I don't know how I really feel about that. Not sure if I care. But yeah, it's made out of plastic. So I heard there were handles on this that you could actually use to get it out. Let me just cut the plastic back a bit. Let's see here. Are there any handles anywhere that I can use to grab this? They said there were supposed to be. I've read that there are, but I do not know where they actually are on here. So yes, I'm going to have to just manhandle this thing out of the box. So Be right back. So actually, before I completely manhandle this out of the box, it is protected. The print head was protected and had this box in there with styrofoam. And you can see on the box here, it's got the, probably a roll of filament. The heater box, this does come with one, along with the spool holder, the power cable, and some type of knob, I'm assuming, to lock down the heated, or whatever, basically the filament dryer. So pushing that to the side, and then I still do not see where I can grab this without just, you know, causing any type of damage. So yeah, I'm just gonna probably flip it upside down. I'm not sure. I'm gonna get out of the box though. All right guys, so I did in fact find the handles. I was like, they would put them in a place that obviously makes sense, which they did in fact do. They're right here. I'm not sure if this is the front or the back of the printer, but basically they're on the sides, and let's see, do not lift with your back like I just did, but long story short, we got it out of the box. So let's readjust the camera and show you guys. All right guys, so hopefully you saw that box. I'm not sure if the, you know, it was focus or whatever was working, but this is the box I was talking about that was inside the printer, you know, contains everything that we'll be setting up on it later. But this is the actual printer. As you can see, it is massive. I will eventually probably put it side by side in my K1 Max to show the difference, but it's huge. I don't know if that actually plays into its capabilities or if, you know, the added weight makes it sturable, but regardless, it's a huge printer. So we're pulling off all of the protective plastic here. And again, everything is made out of plastic. Unlike the K1 Max, again, the top is plastic, the front door is plastic, the entire frame, plastic. So I don't know if that will affect the printer at all, printing or anything, but just to let you guys know, all plastic. We've got a heated, you know, bed, of course. It shows the 330 by 330 on there. It is removable, so, and it is magnetic. So everything seems good to go there. I am gonna go ahead and basically remove the screws. I'm pretty sure that's what I have to do, just like I had to do on the Bamboos and the K1 Maxes. I don't know if I also mentioned this is a brand new printer, so I did not get this one used like the others. I got it for a really good deal. They had a coupon that was like 100 and something off. It was 600, and I'll get the exact price by the end of the episode for you guys, but it was a phenomenal price. So the large bed and the price were definitely reasons I went with this printer. But let me go ahead and remove the screws, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump into powering it up and getting our first print. So let's do it. All right guys, so checking out our handy dandy manual here. The first thing it is telling me to do is remove everything from the box, from inside the printer, which I did in fact do. And then it's telling me, well, it probably is easier to access it from the top here. We'll take off the top plate, and it's saying to cut the basically cables that are holding the extruder all together. So let me show you guys that. These are the zip ties that it's telling me to cut. So we're gonna go ahead and cut these extremely industrial grade zip ties. These are the thickest zip ties I've ever seen in my entire life, much thicker than the ones that were holding my Bamboo together, along with the ones holding the K1 Max together. I'm trying to take this off. Can I just slide the print head? No, it's not sliding. So we're just gonna see if we can rip this out. I don't want to mess up anything or loosen anything. Let's see here. Kind of difficult to get out for some reason, but I'm not gonna lie, just touching this, it doesn't feel as, what's the word? It feels just cheaper than the K1 Max. Maybe that is why the price was a bit lower, but it does just feel a bit cheaper just to the touch. But I'm having a little bit of trouble getting these out, so give me 1 second. Okay, so once I moved around to the back of the printer, I was able to easily remove that zip tie. So now we're gonna go ahead and remove, you can't see it too well. See if I can focus the camera a little bit better for you guys. Sorry for all the moving, but here we go. You see these white lines essentially, there we go. These right here are also zip ties that need to be removed. There's, I guess, 2 or 4 technically. So we're gonna go ahead and cut these. Again, these are the thickest zip ties I have ever seen. They're just absurdly thick. But I guess that is what keeps it from moving during shipping. I'm gonna cut the back piece so that I can just pull it out. Make sure you're not cutting any wires because, yeah, you don't want to deal with that on your first go doing a repair before even getting the printer going. So there we go. And now to get out the bottom ones. Let's see. I don't know if I actually have to move the bed to get these out. And I also don't want to touch the rods, there we go, because they have grease on them and I don't want to get my hand oils or whatever onto the rods of the printer. But yeah, all you have to do is push these through. They come through the bottom and boom, out like that. Same thing for the other side here. And cut, again, just be careful that you don't cut any of the wires because that would be terrible. You can actually see all of the grease on the Z-rods. So that's good to know that they are in fact greased up. Let's see, trying to get this one loose and there we go. I just can't, yeah, I've said it twice now. Again, thickest zip ties I have ever seen in my entire life. They are absurdly thick. Wow, man. But you know, I do appreciate that, as the bed, I'm sure, was very well secured. This one's a bit easier to get out. There we go. Okay, we have those out. Now on to the next part. On to the next part, you can see here there are 4 screws right there. There's a white one in the back, rotating the camera over, 2 in the back, so we're gonna go ahead and remove those. All 4 screws are now removed. So it's time for the most exciting part, which is actually plugging in the power. As you guys can see, it comes in this, you know, nifty extra styrofoamed box. We got the power cable right here and our free roll of filament. Is this, it's PLA, I was hoping it was PET G, but that's all right. PLA is what we're gonna use and it's black. I'm actually not gonna use this black because I need the black for something, actually another project. I'm gonna switch it over to white, but we're gonna go ahead and power this sucker up. So as you can see, we have it plugged in here, but we have not put on our actual filament yet, or you know, spool holder. So we're gonna rotate the camera up a little bit, and don't worry about, sorry, hopefully it's not too dark for you guys. We are on the back side of the printer, so the light isn't exactly shining back here. But what I do love is that right up here in the top left corner of the printer, they give you instructions, just in case you didn't know, on how to put the spool holder on, along with the box and everything. So we're going to hop over and do that real quick. And we're going to be using any cubic, hopefully you guys can see that, filament, because that's what I have on hand. Not because they sponsor me or anything, which I wish they would, but nonetheless, that's what we're going to be using. So give me 1 second while I install this. As you can see, that just snapped right in place. It's extremely easy, comes right back out again. Boom, snaps right in. We're gonna put our filament on, load it up through the sensor here. Hopefully you guys can see that too. This right here is our filament runout sensor. We're gonna run our filament up this way, into it, and into the printer. So let's see where the box went. 1 second. Don't be an idiot like me. Our spool holder or filament dryer box was actually underneath all the styrofoam in that tiny little box that I showed you guys earlier, that this right here, the spool holder, came in. So I almost threw that away. You know, don't be an idiot like me. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, set this up. And it actually even contained an activated charcoal filter, which we are gonna be installing. I never used them for any of my other printers, and for this printer, you know, the dryer box is gonna be nice, as I've never used a dryer box for any of my printers, and so we shall see if it makes an actual difference. But I'm gonna go ahead and load the filament in, route it through, and show you guys all of that. So I have to say that this is pretty freaking awesome. This is the dryer box, and right in here goes, you know, the silica gel desiccant, which we will put inside here, which will actually dry our filament out. And it gives you instructions right on here of how to do everything. So like 1, open the dryer box, put it in, put the filament in, insert the PTFE tubing, blah, 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 route it all the way through your printer. So since it gives you actual instructions, I am not going to show you guys how to do all of this. Literally just follow the instructions. So we have our filament in our box. Now I have to figure out how exactly I'm supposed to route this through. Oh, it's idiot proof. So all you have to do is match up everything. It can only go on one way, I'm assuming. Oh, well, first I have to take off the plug. Then, there we go. It goes in like so, and then you lock it back into place. This is actually pretty nifty, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like pretty innovative. None of my other printers, and I've had, you know, I have a decent amount of them, have anything like this, and I think it's pretty innovative. And it locks in place like so. That's really cool. So then we just go ahead and route our filament up through the printer like so. Well, if I can get it to go through. I always have trouble getting filament to go through these things. It's just, I don't know, nature of the game, I guess. Well, it's gonna take me a minute, but I know I'm gonna get it through. Yep, and just like that, I got it through. So I'm gonna push this up a little bit, not all the way to the actual extruder, because again, we haven't turned the actual printer on. We just got our filament loaded, which again, this is just really, really cool and unique to me. So we're gonna switch back around to the front of the printer, go ahead and get it started up and see what else we need to do. So now for the moment of truth, going to go back behind the printer and switch it on. Let's see if everything powers up. Ha ha ha. We have power. So let's see what this brings up, and we're gonna go through all of the steps. So after about maybe 30 seconds, it actually booted up. And I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in to everything that I will be doing right here. I may have to actually turn off one of my lights because it's producing an absolutely terrible glare. Yeah, let's see if it's any better. There we go. I think that's a lot better. And we'll slide the camera a bit forward for you guys, trying to make this as visible as possible. There we go. All right. So it's obviously telling us the language. It only allows me, well, no, I can select whatever I want. We've got Japanese, French, Dutch. I'm not sure that one. I'm pretty sure it's Russian, and then Chinese. And since I only speak English, that's what we're going to be going with. Remove all the ties, we've already done that. Remove the 4 screws, that fixed the hotbed. We've done that. About to moving, it says about to moving platform. Please make sure the platform is clean and unlocked. About to moving, Don't know about that, but anyways. Click the up and down button, the up and down buttons, there we go. Oh, that's not good. But, or maybe it is, I don't know. Click the up and down buttons below to move the platform to the appropriate position and then take out the pearl cotton. I'm pretty sure I've already done that. Let's see. I can hold it. This is phenomenal. And I have not. I cannot do this. I'm pretty sure on the K1 Max, just hold it. And I know I can't do it on my bamboos. I have to just keep pressing it. So this is actually really, really nice. But I'm gonna go ahead, wait, I spoke too soon maybe. It was going fine, I don't know. It seemed like it was, but maybe it's not now. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and remove the piece of styrofoam here at the bottom. The other piece, yep, all removed there. Close this back up and hit next. Keep pushing the filament into the filament runout sensor until reaching the extruder. So I'm gonna go behind the printer, and let's see, it's a very long way to the tube. I mean, an extremely long way, but I'm watching it, and we are now, we have pushed the filament into the extruder. So let's see what's next. Click the left side plus and minus buttons to start heating and setting nozzle temperature. So we're gonna go ahead, and I usually print PLA at 220. Oh, there's still a cable in there. Hold up, 1 second, guys. I'm gonna power this off. 1 second, that's not good. Since I forgot to pull off one of them, I had to turn off the printer, cut it off, checked it over again twice, now we're good. So it's taking us back through all this. Don't be an idiot like me and forget one of them. We did all that already, we did that already. The print head is moving, yep, did all that. It's saying up the temperature. It's not letting me go. Click left side plus minus button to start heating and setting nozzle temperature. I can't go above 25, so I guess 25 is what it's going to be. Ensure the filament into the extruder. Click below button for loading filament until the filament comes out from the nozzle. I know the filament's in there. Let's see if anything actually comes out of the nozzle. Let's show you guys that. So I didn't actually have anything come out of the nozzle, and I'm pretty sure that's because I couldn't bump my temperature up to what I needed it to be. Probably some type of user error there, because I normally run PLA at around 220 degrees Celsius, but that was the last step of the tutorial. So now, showing you guys the screen that we are sitting at. This is what I guess the regular screen shows. So we're going to go ahead and maybe do any type of calibration. The printer is moving around and making all kinds of noise, I guess, doing whatever it's going to do. We're going to see if there's any type of calibration, but before that, there's actually a few files in here. It just shows benchy, 52 millimeter filament spool, what's that, 320 Max 3. I'm not sure what some of these are. Wild Rose Blue Lids Puzzle. Not sure what any of these are, but we're gonna go ahead and see if there's anything we need to do. Is there a calibration somewhere? Yes, there is, calibration. So we have auto bed leveling, input shaping, and set Z offset. So let's go with auto bed leveling. Preheat the hot bed to the filament printing temperature before leveling. So I like to run my bed at, it says it at 66, that's fine because I usually run it at 60. So we're gonna set the bed to 66. So let's let that set and be right back. So we've got it warmed up to now 66 degrees Celsius, specifically the bed. For the bed calibration, it took about 15 minutes to get it there. So that was a little bit longer than I expected. It's definitely longer than the Bamboo, which of course has a smaller bed and longer than the K1 Max, but not a big deal. Leveling will reset the offset value. Ensure that the nozzle is clean and free from any filament on the tip. Haven't printed anything, so I'm not worried about that. Please wait, the platform and nozzles are initializing. So, zooming out for you guys, and you can see the bed is in fact moving, or now the print head is moving. So you guys can see it's doing its thing, whatever the auto bed leveling sequence is. I'm hoping it's not like the K1 Max where I had to print the calibration spheres, or whatever they're called, layers for the flow rate. Hopefully this one can just do it automatically the same way that the Bamboos do. But we're just gonna let this go ahead and finish, and yeah, let's see what it does. All right, it says current compensation value 0.000 millimeters. So I'm guessing, oh no, this is where this handy dandy little piece of paper that they gave you comes in handy. Special paper for bed plate leveling. When entering the level interface, click the icon plus, or the up or down to adjust the distance between the nozzle and build plate until you feel slight friction. This is extremely similar to what I do all the time on my CR10s. So we're gonna put that under there, and then we're going to raise our bed up a bit. I don't hear anything happening. Well, let's up the increments. Let's see. There we go. So I was doing it by 0.05. Now I'm doing it by 1 millimeter. And, ooh, that's too tight. So let's drop it by 0.1. Still need some more. Drop it again, more. So this right here is just literally something that you learn from your other printing experiences. There's no, lower it by this much, raise it by that much. It's literally just an experience thing. And the friction, the best I can describe it to you guys is like slightly brushing the piece of paper, but not pinching the piece of paper. So putting that back under there, how do I feel about that? It's brushing it. Let's see what 0.05 does. That's a little, I think, too tight. Let's do 0.01, drop it by 1, which we just did. Maybe one more. We're getting there. These are such small, movements that you can barely feel them, but trust me, it makes a huge difference. And this is pretty much exactly where I want it. I can feel resistance, but it's not being pinched. So that's exactly what I want. Let me see if I can pull the card out. I should be able to slide it back in. Yes, I am. So that's exactly where I want it. So complete. All right, so we got it. You know, the IP has been given an IP address for my network. We went ahead and now we're heating up the nozzle. There is a whole load, you know, option where it does the whole loading thing, just like on the K1 Max and just like on the Bamboo. So it's just gonna go ahead, heat the nozzle up to 220, and hopefully we'll get some extruding. So let's go ahead and see if we can see any of that. I'm not so sure we will be able to, but I'm gonna go ahead and try. We have the nozzle over here in the corner. And right now it's sitting at, well, it shows filament loading. I can't see it spinning on the back, obviously, but let's see if we have anything come out of the actual nozzle. And we do have PLA. I don't advise grabbing it like that with your fingers, but nonetheless, it did extrude. So we know we have filament right here. So we're good to go for our first print. I don't like to personally print benchies because I have no use for them. So, and I also don't know, you know, I know my files better and how they're supposed to look. So I print things that I know and I can make adjustments from there. So let's go ahead and get a print started. So we have our first file here on this jump drive. I'm going to circle around to the back of the printer. Unfortunately, the USB slot is here on the back. I don't know why they put it there, but nonetheless, that's where it is. So we're going to go ahead and insert that. And, yeah, hopefully eventually I'll be able to get the Wi-Fi to work on this printer, but for now we're just going to go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way. Let's see if I see my file. I do not. Oh, here it is. Yep. So we're going to go ahead, get that going. Bed leveling, PLA tells me it's going to take about 7 hours. Again, I like to always go big or go home. So we're going to start off with a 7-hour print. Printing with enclosure may cause high temperature and softening of filament, leading to clogging. So please open the top cover and keep it ventilated. Okay, confirm. So I'm going to let that go and I'll see you guys in 7 hours. All right, guys, so we are back and we have, as you can see, a completed print. So turning this on, we see up here 7 hours, 13 minutes to complete this print, which was about, you know, pretty accurate with what Orca Slicer was saying. They pop right off the bed, loving that, not requiring me to even lift the magnetic bed. You can look at the bottom here. Well, actually, we're going to zoom in a little bit, but the quality on these, phenomenal. It's looking really good. Yeah, I don't have any complaints at first initial inspection here. So let's just take a closer look at these. So we have two ears here that I use for my Five Nights at Freddy's mask. And yeah, they look phenomenal. Let's see. Yep, the supports pop right off, as you guys can see. I mean, barely any pressure and they pop right off. And I mean, the print looks great. I have no complaints whatsoever about this. It's been an extremely easy process thus far. The only one that was easier was the Bamboos, but it was easier than the K1 Maxes, that's for sure. But yeah, and just like that, all the supports are off and the pieces are good to go. So no complaints there. So I have to say, I am definitely impressed by the quality of this printer, the print speed of this printer. Again, I started off with an Ender 3 V2, and to print something like these, like, you know, both of these together, of course, which would fit on that bed, would easily take, I don't know, I'm guessing about 14 hours to 18 hours, something like that. On this printer, 7 hours and however many minutes it said. So again, in line with the K1 Maxes and the Bamboos, this new generation of printers is so much faster. They're getting better and better in terms of quality, in terms of pricing. And when we're speaking about pricing, I got this one for $670 something. I think it was something like that. I had a coupon. But I mean, but overall, I think this is going to be an absolutely phenomenal printer. I'm definitely glad to add a new printer to the lineup, as I've tested, you know, Bamboo, Creality. Now we're working on QIDI or QIDI, I don't know how you say it. Maybe we'll move on to Voron one day. I don't know. But as you guys can see, I definitely love 3D printing and love 3D printers. So always excited to try something new. I just keep looking at this printer because, again, it's just absolutely massive. And even on the back here, it tells you, 325 by 325 by 325. It's just a beast of a printer. So it's so different from the other ones that I have in the background here. But the quality, again, was great. Everything seemed to be phenomenal. The pieces came out the way that I wanted. Don't have to do, too much sanding on these. It's pretty smooth. You can still hear it a little bit, when you scrape your finger across, but that's to be expected. Overall, though, liking what I see so far. Looking forward to what this has what this can do in the future. The next item I actually plan on printing right after this episode is a helmet. So we're going to see how it does on that. I'll be posting pictures on my Instagram and on my YouTube. So, you can go there and check that out if you would like to see those. Also, if you have any questions or would like to see me do anything with this printer, feel free to drop a comment in the comment sections below, and I would love to get back to you guys on that. But for the rest of the time, that's going to pretty much do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for checking it out. And as always, stay balanced. See you guys. Bye-bye.